everybody.
I didn't know if I was supposed to have like a...
No, I just was doing it.
Okay.
Welcome back to Old Reader, New Reader, everybody. And welcome back, Stephen. Thank you for always choosing an appropriate name for every time we do a stream together. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like to change it up. I like to, keep it interesting.
And thanks for helping me kick off October. It's spooky month time. It's my favorite comic book time of the year.
It's the best time of the year. It's Halloween all year round in my apartment. So
very excited. So we're starting off with The Woods by James Tynion, which we were finally saying correctly. Even though you and I are diehard Tynion fans, and we have been saying it wrong for years. Sorry.
I will at some point tonight, at least once, maybe 10 times, say Tynion without thinking about it.
Yay! I'm glad you guys like this. Yeah, and I love Wind as well.
Oh, Wind is so good.
And I know Peter's already dipped, but definitely worth a blind buy for sure. It's done for one thing, which is good. So you have a nice contained story. I'm giving away the goat, but you should read it. Nice. Thank you, James.
I feel like I need to pretend. I'm like, it's bad. Yeah, well, we'll debate it. Who knows what our feelings are?
So let's talk about, I guess, the basic premise of this, and then we'll get into it. We do talk about spoilers here, but there is so much in this series, because we're talking about the whole thing, that I can't really be... There's no way I can spoil everything for you. There we go. Look at
this
that.
whole thing, which I can barely pick up.
So is that like the 3 yearbook editions in one?
Heavy. Yeah, this is the whole series.
Okay.
It's
one big guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I read it in the year.
One
so
big guy.
There's that. They have it collected that way. They have it collected with the yearbook editions, book 1, 2, and 3, and then I think it's 6 trades.
I think it's 9.
9 trades. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, because it's I think each year is 3 trades, and it takes place over that 3 years. But can I just also say, when they designed this,
very nice.
Not to sell it, but beautiful slipcase.
Dr. Robot.
With Dr. Robot. Oh, wait, I'm going to put his head over the name.
Dr. Robot.
There you go. Yeah, no, great slipcase. I'm not usually a person that goes for the slipcase version.
Yeah.
But with this, I did. But even if I hadn't, I wouldn't be mad, because it's a gorgeous
that looks gorgeous.
Book. Yeah, it's everything about this book is great. Boom has really upped their game on hardcovers,
which I appreciate. I feel like Boom is what I've always fallen in and out with.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty hardcore Boom for everything, especially cool editions like the Steven Universe comic book collection book was really cool. And I think maybe when the stuff with Buffy happened, I got a little hurt and I stepped away a little bit.
Yeah, and I feel like they're collected editions for a while. Those early Power Rangers, the binding on those, the pages would just kind of start coming out. I don't know if people who watch this channel care about the bills of books at all.
That's hilarious that you said,
or anything related.
No one cares about the spine on this channel. Incorrect. Everyone cares. Exactly. Everyone and their mom cares about a spine.
Well, gorgeous spine.
That's beautiful. So The Woods.
Go ahead and...
So the basic premise of this, and it starts off pretty quickly. So pretty early on in the series, everything happens very fast. You have this high school. It's 400 kids. We focus on about 7 or 8 of them, basically. They're in school one day, and then the entire school gets lifted up and just disappears. It gets transported to a whole nother world. We do learn that it's on a moon, but you're on an alien planet, basically. And so they wake up there. The school's just been moved. Everything outside of it's different. And so there are woods outside. Hence the
woods.
Your mic is picking up a lot of the movement of those things, so we might not be able to do all the movement of the things.
My bad.
That's okay.
My bad.
It's okay. So and within those woods are monsters. And so it's a big like mystery on top of a survival book. So you're just them trying to survive, which I think Tynion is very good at, And I think he's very good at mysteries, as we've seen with the nice house on the lake. Am I saying that correctly? He's good at setting up a whole mystery for this. So we don't know why they're there. We don't know what the purpose of this is. We don't know at the beginning, is this like a test? Is this a battle royale situation? Are we in like a zoo? Because that was one of my first thoughts, if like you transport an entire just group, kind of Brainiac style, basically, right? It was just building everybody in it. Keep all your stuff, it's fine.
Just a zoo. I really like that idea.
So when they show up, everything gets a little wonky, but you pair that with a lot of the interpersonal issues and hormones of teenagers, right? So they're dealing with their own interpersonal things. And this is despite like death in front of them too. So like there's a good moment later on with Isaac, especially, where he's like, oh man, it really sucked because I really wanted to get into Urinetown, which is a musical. I really wanted it. And his boyfriend's like, people have died in front of you and you're still hung up about Urinetown. And so it's that level of like underdeveloped brain, which I think people in trauma, I both can relate. I think anybody in chat can. These big things can happen and you can still focus on the weird little things, right? You're man, I can't believe I didn't get in that play. Like, well, you defended a guy for being murdered by monsters, but let's focus on that.
Yeah, there's still 16 to 17-year-old kids, and you forget that at times, but then there are times where you're reading it and you go, okay, like there is God, I'm really struggling today.
You're good.
There is a encounter of the sexual nature that takes place in the book, and the awkwardness surrounding it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time I read it, I was like, this is weird and uncomfortable. And then you forget, like, oh, well, they're adults now because of when in the story it takes place, but these are kids. Like, they don't know anything about anything.
So I was thinking I could kind of like, because there's a lot that's happening here, that maybe if I split it into what the yearbooks are split into, sort of, we can kind of talk about the big pieces. And then just talk about our favorite parts, what we think and stuff. So in yearbook edition 1, book 1, we are introduced to, like, I wrote them as like the woods group and the school group. So we have our woods group that is led basically by this kid named Adrian Roth, who once they land, he's a geek. He's a very self-centered guy. You could say he has sociopathic tendencies. I can't diagnose him, but saying what I see. When they land, he sees this like structure outside. It's like almost like a little mini mount to like an air. I think he calls it an arrow. It speaks to him in a way, and it gives him visions. And he's like, I know what to do. So he's got this whole plan. Even from the beginning, he's like, it's a puzzle. We just have to we have to go in the center of the woods to figure this out, right? It's a test for us. And so he gathers a group of kids to go. One of them says no, but then her best friend's like, I'm going and you can't stop me. And he's like, I don't want you. So he brings her, he brings this kid that's in love with him, basically. Isaac, who works on tech in the play but doesn't get cast ever. The bad kid, Calder, who does things for a laugh, is always getting in trouble. And then he brings Benjamin Stone, who's this really large guy who everyone wants on the football team, but he's just like a nice, strong guy, and he kind of keeps to himself. So he brings this whole crew. And then, of course, some of them join later, and they go out into the woods. And while all that's happening, we have this backstory of Maria, the student council president, who's trying to keep things together, along with the principal, who's also trying to keep things together, but doesn't trust the student council president because she's a child. And then this really shitty gym teacher who's ex-military, who has like a sports team he coaches, right?
I hate him.
Oh, yeah. Awful. So we have these interpersonal dynamics going here where no one really knows what to do. right?
Mm-hmm.
The student council president is just trying to get people together. Like, we'll dig latrines poorly. We'll just do something. I need to focus my energy and your energy so we can try to survive this. And it's also like, I can't believe they're doing that. It's ridiculous. How can these kids do it? They're trying to stage a coup and immediately go into violence and like as if they're in a military structure. Like
the principal gives me big like the Sultan vibes from Aladdin, where like the football coach is definitely Jafar and the principal's just like, what do we do? I don't know what to do. And of course, I can't remember his name, but the coach is just the absolute worst.
I wrote Clay. I know his name is Clay.
Coach Clay. Yep.
Yeah. And so as we're having this, we're having flashbacks for each of these like kids of like where they were a year ago at school or like their backstory in general. And some interesting interpersonal things where we eventually we learned about Adrian definitely being a sociopath, right? His mom stepping in to kind of save him for that, which is interesting. They find out that this place is essentially a prison in a way. So at this moment, is what they believe. And they run into another group. So we've learned that groups throughout history have been placed here on this planet. Like almost like every 100, every 200 years, a new group. Like it's just these groups of people and their cities or towns or whatever just spirited away to here.
Yeah, it feels like did you watch Lost?
No, actually. And now it's too late because I know the twist, right? So I can never go back and look. But I have watched by people who did Lost.
It's still worth it for some of the beautiful storytelling in there, but the very end of the first episode of Lost is the moment where they come across a polar bear in the jungle, and it's just like, what? Whereas the last page of, I think, the first issue of this is him leading them through the woods, and they come across a Mayan temple.
Oh yeah, I missed that part. Yeah, so they see a Mayan temple. And it's got all these things written in it from different languages. So it's like, and I think one part in English as well. So it's like, okay, other people have been here. So my mind at first reading that was like, oh, it's a puzzle. And this is like some big master plan that's been like testing people throughout time, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the first time I read it, what I thought about that. Because the first time I read it and this time were vastly different reading experiences.
James said, I'm going to be the one person, that just says Drifting Classroom is better than The Woods. I don't think I've read Drifting Classroom. No, James, I could be wrong. That is for sure. I don't think I've read Drifting. Is it the same kind of situation?
Kind of. So I don't agree, but that's because I love a good like character development thing, and Junji Ito just didn't have as much room. Well,
this is Kazuo Umezu.
I'm thinking of Dissolving Classroom.
Yeah, I always get the two confused. I've definitely read Dissolving Classroom. I don't think I've read Drifting Classroom.
Drifting is like the 3 big volume. Okay, yeah, no, never mind. I was thinking of Dissolving Classroom. I haven't read Drifting Classroom.
I guess I need to. That one is definitely more, I assume, horror than this. This is horror light, right? Like I'm not like it's horrific in the way that like Walking Dead is horrific, right?
Yeah,
because it's not like overtly creepy, but it is a very scary situation and like a very survival situation. I really like the beginning part. I like that the slow exploration of the woods. I like that, but they took their time, not running into New London and its crew until later, and getting to see slowly like what's happening. See, I think very accurate interpersonal dealings at the high school, because of course, people feel out of control. They're going to do crazy stuff, and they need direction. And of course, like a administrator is like, this is my time. Like someone like, this is my time, especially a gym teacher, ex-military, right? It's like, no, I'm going to shine. And probably
I was built for this.
He probably sucked when he was in the military. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he certainly sucked in this.
Well, yeah, like the moment, when he had his team members, like, whether or not he told them to beat that girl up, they did beat that girl up. Like, that's atrocious.
Yeah, it was. There's some rough stuff in here.
Yeah.
There are multiple times I was just like, oh my God. Oh, we're really doing it.
And then moments of, like, when the gym teacher and the principal fought as well. Because, like, you have, like, all these monsters are outside. They're literally killing kids or pulling them out of the windows, right? Like, we don't have time to kill each other.
Yeah,
and they get mad at student council president, who's like, hey, listen, everyone's really stressed, which means they're stress eating through all of our food. And that's a problem. We need to focus people on something else.
Well, yeah, we don't have plumbing. We don't have running water. Like,
yeah, this whole place smells really bad because they're just still using the toilets that they don't run. Like,
yeah, there are moments where it feels like some of the early encampment stuff that you read in Walking Dead, where it's like, okay, it's people figuring out how to survive without basic things that they're used to having. And then they do. You know, they figure out their own kind of way of doing it and what they can and can't eat. And throughout the book, just anything they eat looks horrible.
Oh, awful.
Yeah, it's all just like slime and gook, and it looks terrible. But they seem happy with it.
So I do want to talk about our kind of like, there's a few things. I want to talk about Adrian and his powers and kind of like what we learned about that and here, because I think that's really neat, but also about like the interpersonal relationships through here. I mean, I like to see how everyone kind of falls through. Like I love Karen and Sonami's like relationship and kind of what that is and develops, right? Because they're best friends. They're also kind of best friends with the student council president in a way, but obviously these two were the tops, and their parents didn't want them to hang out. Or at least Sonami's mom did not want her hanging out with Karen. And Karen's someone I go back and forth on. I don't know if I really like her. I appreciate her growth as a character, but I'm never sure if I really like her as a character. If I met her, I don't think I'd like her in person. Is what I mean.
That's so interesting, because I'm always intrigued, and I kind of joked with you about this earlier, but I'm interested to get your take on like the main like 7 people, because I have different feelings this time than I did the first time. Yes, on who I like and who I'm like, I hate you. You're the worst. Because I was actually kind of surprised at how my opinions changed of some people.
So Karen, he kind of argues almost our main character. It's not really a main character.
Yeah, I think
but
Karen.
I feel like we tend to see her a lot.
It feels like Karen, Calder, and I want to say Adrian, but it depends, because he's not there for chunks of the book.
So Karen kind of becomes this, even though you would think at the beginning, Sonami is like, she has like wilderness training. Her dad is like this celebrity who makes like nature shows, discovery shows. So she knows a lot about like, I forgot what the word is for doing stuff outside. Something earring. Sure, survivalism. Something earring.
Oh, something earring, like mountaineering, pioneering.
Something like that. Anyway, so outside stuff.
Outside
She's really good at that stuff. So she knows about latrine. She knows how to survive on nothing outside. Like, that's her skill. And that's the reason why Adrian originally wanted her to be in it. And she's like, no, F you, I don't like you. Go away. I'm not going outside. And she's a huge help. So like originally it seems like she's the one who's going to be this big like fighter. And even in the beginning, when she's getting in a fight with another guy, she has like a crowbar or pipe like ready immediately, which is crazy. So she's ready to go down, right?
Yeah.
But Karen's the one who has this steady thing throughout here where she kind of just inserts herself in to help with things because she wants to like be appreciated. And she really does care a lot about what other people think of her. To her detriment, because she gets in relationships and things because I get it. She's stressed. She's a kid. She wants the attention, right? Yeah, you're going to be flirting around. Like, of course.
she wants the attention without the responsibility.
Exactly.
That's her thing. Is like she's a reluctant leader because she doesn't want any responsibility, but she has leadership qualities if she would just grow up.
I won't say that she's not me at that age, to be honest. I'll be honestly, that was me. Maybe that's why I don't like her.
Fair.
Sonomy, great character. No notes, no problems with her.
Oh, she's my favorite character. If there is a, I mean, how spoilery are we talking? But
well, I guess we should probably talk about them when we're done, right? Towards the end.
That's probably fair. Yeah, okay. That's fair.
So we'll come back. All right, so we get to learn more about the power work. So Adrian touches this stone. He goes, his eyes start getting glowy.
Mm-hmm.
He's already starting to feel more different. He's like, this is my true purpose. He's giving sort of a messiah complex. And we learn that he can control these things to almost like, if he connects to the stones, he can control all of this.
Right.
Like weapons pop out, he can control animals and stuff. So all of that's a lot. And the other group warns them about him. They're like, hey, we've seen this before. You got to kill that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this is way too long. I'm getting to the weeds. We'll have to jump through. I guess we don't have to talk in order.
There's so much, that you kind of dig into. I guess the main thing with the first book, I feel like that is the culmination of the first book is finding out what the planet Moon is.
Right. Yeah.
Which is I mean, we're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a massive supercomputer.
Yeah, it's a massive supercomputer, and we don't find out until like way later on. But basically, this was for a population that died out, but the computer did not get the memo, and it's seeking out other populations that can run it. And so it's been looking at Earth, and every so often picking up a small portion of the population to see if we're ready as a planet to do anything. And of course they're not. Because
exactly. And I mean, they talk about it, later on in the story, but I mean, she's like, we're the first group that knows what computer even means.
Yeah.
There's another character that literally, I mean, he is just like, I have no clue what y'all are talking about, like at all.
No.
Like, which is Sander. Like multiple times, Sander's just like, I don't, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And they're talking about basic stuff. And so it makes sense that they're the generation that's going to change things. But at the same time, like, are they ready? Because then you get into like humanity and what it means to basic human decency versus like control. And I don't know, it's a really weird dynamic when you think about like logistically they're ready, but they seem extremely unable to process even worse than maybe some of the other generations how to respond to having the power.
Well, yeah, how to respond to having the power and how to deal with one another too. Like, their interpersonal things are getting in the way the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So in times when, you need to kill Adrian because he's gone pretty psycho about this. Well, we can't do that because, I have a list here of names, because Isaac is still in love with him. And Isaac's still like, that's my friend. He needs me. Right. Mm-hmm. He needs me to be here for them. Even though Adrian's like, I don't care about them. I don't care about that guy.
Well, exactly.
And you have all these like, and then once somebody does kill someone, they can be more reluctant to do that later. And that changes the whole dynamic of the group. While at the same time, we've got our adults here. So not just like Clay from back in the day, but we have leaders of New London. And we also have these leaders in Hayashi's like group regime.
Oh yeah, so not only do they find New London, which is like a settlement of very kind, mostly.
Yeah, they're just trying to take in refugees,
good
right?
Guys.
I mean,
I guess.
They seemed good, but they were like, what if we take all the students and we could script them as soldiers?
Well, oh yeah, that's true. They did
and
that.
Like,
whereas then they find Hayashi and his group, which is he's the descendant of like, I want to say World War II, like
the like Japanese army.
military,
Yeah.
got from the Japanese army. So their whole thing they live on is a giant battleship that they've rigged to move across the land. And so like then there's that army called the Horde. So your three main groups, because I realized I was like, we're just saying names. The three main groups I guess are the School, New London, and the Horde.
Yeah.
But
and it's because that's you have these bigger politics at play, which I think is really interesting, right? Because of course those would develop, and of course certain people would create those situations for themselves. And New London would try to do a more like kind refugee, more of a democratic in a way group, but not completely. They're not truly altruistic. And then you have a very regime-like, because of course, from 1930s, probably Japan, naturally they're going to do that. And then he even went on to destroy other groups and colonies as well.
Right.
And how does that affect things? And then you have this new group, which is students. And a lot of them are doing their best, but then you have idiots. Like...
I cannot tell you. You meet the most morally reprehensible character I have ever read in comic books. I think, like, think of the worst. Darkseid, better than this guy. Like,
oh God, awful.
Like, I hate his brother so much. I feel like toward the end of his brother's storyline, they try to give him a little redemption, and I'm like, no, don't care. Like, everything you did ruined everything. Like, they end up getting involved in this massive conflict because Calder's brother takes power over the school and brokers a deal with the Horde.
Yeah.
And then that turns into a whole thing, and they release the monsters and it's rough. That whole sequence is that like 3 to 4 issue sequence of the movie beautiful. Night is amazing, where you see this like power changing hands in a very bad way, and you witness like the characters facing their first like, okay, now I have to be the leader, and each of them kind of has their own role in which they have to lead in that scene, which leads to a death that ripped my heart out.
Oh God, yeah.
When I read it, which I didn't think it would as much as it did.
Yeah.
Like, I was always like, oh, I like this character. I don't know if we're, again, Maria. I was like, I like this character. I don't want her to die. And then, like, especially the first time, but again, reading it, I was just like, I know it's coming. And it still hit hard. Like, I'm still just like, I don't know. That whole sequence is beautiful. Like,
yeah, I think Tynion does a really great job in this, like, midway point, giving you a situation that's affecting these kids and these people that kind of mirrors a lot of situations that you see in real life, right? So you have this regime that's not be trusted, but is more than happy to weasel their way in. You have a new leader who's becoming a leader by controlling a population with drugs, essentially.
Right.
And weaseling his way through and lying and things to get himself to a place of power, and then using a fun event like the movie screening, because people have never seen movies before, to then stage this coup, basically. And he's like, no, it's cool. This guy's going to do these things. It's fine. Yeah, some people will die, but like, trust me, this is how we, as in me and my brother, are going to get out of here. And his brother's like, but if I hadn't been your friend, because he also used drugs and whatever, then I wouldn't be here and I'd be there with them. Would you have cared? And he doesn't answer him right away. And so that gives him, he's like, okay, I have my confirmation now. And they have to make a real moment of like, okay, that what the status quo that we had is gone. We need to move fast. We're losing a lot of people.
Well, and I think that one of the things that, especially reading it now versus last year, seeing the tactics used to take power, it is, it's something I feel like is relatable to real life in a lot of ways. And some of the like wild stuff that you think, well, that could never happen. Then if you really think about it, okay, maybe it could. But like from the get-go, when his brother's just like, and I've staged, well, I don't think he staged it, but he basically causes a suicide.
Yeah.
And then uses it as a platform to basically turn this kid into a martyr. And for him to stand up and be like, oh my God.
It's like, see, I can't believe this is happening. This is only the first suicide we've had. You all must be hiding bodies, must be hiding information from us. And she's like, no, I opened his eyes right now. He's got, like, you can tell he's been on your drugs that you're supplying that are driving people crazy, that is not easy to wean off of because you just go into hallucinations. This is obvious.
And he basically yells fake news.
Yeah, but he's charismatic. He's good at that. I think Tynion did a good job of showing that. And I think this is a tactic that's been used throughout history, especially using drugs on a populace. I always think about like China back in the day, giving them opium to weaken the population so you can take control. We won't get into that. Part of my undergraduate was Chinese studies, so love Chinese history. But there's really cool all of these are going on. It's very cool. And I like that this midsection is kind of dedicated towards that. And then when we come back together for this like third part, or you could say yearbook edition, part 3, it's like, okay, hey, we've all gotten complacent and because we've just been trying to survive. We forgot to keep being curious and looking for answers. And I like these moments a lot because you have this moment, I think it's when Benjamin's like, hey, I'm happy and I've got a boyfriend. And we'll talk about oh gosh, don't talk about I should have chosen one book.
This is going to be a 6-hour episode.
He's like, I have to know. Like, no matter what, I can't just, we've made a home, we're doing our best here. But if there's a way I could go home, I can't just not have that answer.
Right.
And he's like, and I want to introduce my boyfriend to my parents. And I was like, bold of you to assume that all of you are getting out of here, but go for it.
Right.
And in the background of this, of course, we have after Adrian had died, he'd still been communicating with Isaac. He had this like mental link in here through the computer powers. And then Isaac went off as a fool, right? But somehow Adrian, once he is out of a human body, he develops empathy a little bit, which is interesting choice. I like it, but I could see anyone else critiquing that, being like, that doesn't make any sense. I could see that. I like how that develops.
I felt that way. This is the main one that I was talking about that I totally 180'd on.
Yeah.
The first time I read it, I did feel that way, where I was like, all right, whatever. Like, this kid was clearly unwell. Clearly a sociopath, very antisocial tendencies. Like, the kid's not nice. He's clearly kind of not a good person throughout the beginning of it, and the things he says and the way he says them. And then, he has this 180 arc basically that leads toward the end. He kind of saves the day.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for him, everybody would be dead. And so reading it this second time, knowing that, like, the beginning was very similar, but like the more I read, by the time I got to the moment where he speaks from off panel, because you haven't seen him in like 2 or 3 trades worth of material, and he speaks from off panel and it cuts to him, I kind of gave a little like,
yeah, right. It's cool. It's like, oh shit, yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's back. But yeah, he does, like, his heart grows 3 sizes when he becomes a computer program.
Yeah.
But it works really well because he always kind of was like a human computer program.
And I think he's like that's kind of always what I wanted to be in a way. And we don't have to go in depth about the ending or anything.
Sure.
I think we could basically say, because we don't spoil any of that. If you guys are, I think probably I don't know people are watching if they haven't read it, but everyone basically has this really cool moment. They team up together. There's some secret plans that have been laid down some really surprising twists and turns with friends and villains. Where it's almost like people had an idea of where this was all going to lead, right? Almost as if fate, with some cool moments of people back home as well, where a couple of the characters get out somehow and wake up right into the anniversary where the school was.
Right.
So you have some teamwork there and here, and all these things come coalescing towards the end in a really beautiful way to end this.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you that I didn't ask you earlier. I love that we don't see anything about what has happened in our world until I think volume 7 of the 9 volumes. Like,
I mean, further than that, it's
like
7.
The last, it's the beginning of like the last third of the story is the first time we see the fallout in our world from what happened and the government cover up saying it was a gas leak explosion.
Yeah, okay, the entire school is gone. It's a gas leak.
It vanished, but the ground is good.
No, that's not how that works.
Yeah, it's that, and then like I actually really enjoyed both times I read it, but like getting to know the parents as characters. Like I kind of liked that for almost 4 issues, they're kind of the main focus, because I think that I think that it brings like it made that last chapter far more exciting to me, knowing what they're trying to do over here, and the fact that, you know, one of the characters has now gone back and they are coping with like, well, this can't be real, but it is real, and what can we do? And the way Adrian plays into that side as well with his mom,
good.
And
so
like
good.
It's beautiful.
Well, I think like, you know, because we see them in flashbacks, because they do a good job of giving you flashbacks and then grounding you throughout here to show you how each character got to where they were. Right. So we have, I'll get my list yet. We have Calder. We show like, you know, when their parents had passed away, what that meant for them, like how his brother ended up being the way he was, him kind of being his brother being the bad one, but Calder always getting blamed. So we see all that, like that explains that character. We see Karen and her parents and like all of her background with Tsunami. We see Maria's background, Isaac falling for Adrian and getting denied, not making it to play. Benjamin, even though his sister is gay and his dad's cool with it, being too afraid to come out to his own dad.
Well, and his dad's reaction when he does accidentally get outed to his dad, and how it is unfortunately kind of exactly what he was afraid of.
Yeah.
Which I think is something that was really cool for him to explore, because I have plenty of friends that have siblings that are queer and they are also queer, and then it becomes like, it's a double standard sometimes with
it's
one
okay
or the
for
other
the
parent.
girl but not for the guy, or like
in the dad's eyes, or vice versa, or whatever like that. And so
to get all these backgrounds on them and then see how they are dealing with it while their kids are missing, and which parents stand, you know, do the right thing and which ones don't right away, which I think is very, very cool, especially Tsunami's dad. Like, he's really in it for himself at the beginning. That guy sucks. He's just like, oh, I can use this for content. And she's like, no, I came home and I told you about everything I went through, and you just look, I can see the greed in your eyes.
Well, and literally, like he's one of the parents that I'm like, I'm never okay with you, because literally there's like a page where all of a sudden he's like, well, I'll do the right thing, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, okay, yay. Like, no, you've been a piece of garbage for the last like 8 or 9 issues, who wanted to exploit your child, not only when you thought she was dead, but now that you know she's alive again, you want to exploit your child for success.
And the way that all of this together, it feels like a movie. I mean, I think Tynion, they did a great job of splicing things together really felt cinematic. Like, I know that they were gonna make a show of this and got stalled. I hope that one day they do. I think this is an easy sell.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned Lost. I've been watching From by the people who made Lost.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get that team on this, forget about it. You're golden.
Yeah, and it's some of the sequences are Tynion, to his credit, is always great at plotting out action sequences in his writing, and I never know exactly how to say it. I want to, Dialynas? Is that how you say the guy's name?
1 second.
But
probably
Dialynas, that was my thought the whole time, but I don't know. The artist draws some of those sequences so beautifully. I know that toward the end, with that big betrayal by one of the parents, like, to the government, and you have this sequence where Dr. Robot, the greatest character in the history of comics, is like running and hiding through the woods in the rain, and the way that the government agents and the senator are chasing him through the woods, and you have the parents arguing back on the property where they're coming from, and it's the way it cuts around that, and the color palette he chose to draw the storm. Like, everything about that sequence is perfect.
Oh, and the colors are perfect throughout. The color use is great because it does make you feel otherworldly immediately. Mm-hmm. It's mostly dark all the time, for the most part, where they're there. Yeah, it's a lot of pinks and purples, so you feel like it's nighttime and creepy. And I think that's a really important. Mm-hmm. And also, it adds to the moodiness of this, because you need that with these kids. And that bright green to symbolize like the alien robot communication and like whatever, perfect. And so that way, visually, it's important immediate clue of how.
Well, yeah, every time you see it, you're like, oh. And then when they get to the Black City, and it's just all of that green everywhere, and they're just standing there in these clothes that you've seen them in these dark, gross things, and now they're in this like pristine, bright situation, but they're still clothed that way. I don't know. The guy's a genius.
It's great. The art's great. He did such a good job with how expressive everyone is in this, which I really appreciate. Like, he's a very distinctive style. I think it lends itself to this very well, because this is a young adult graphic novel series. I don't think it's just for young adults. I think there's some comic book readers out there that might think, oh, it's young adult. It's not for me. No, trust me, it is. It's for everybody. This is for everyone to read. It's so good. Because it's intense. It's this heavy material.
I didn't even know it was a young adult. Like, you wouldn't know it, I think.
No, you wouldn't.
Unless you're like, oh, it deals with high schoolers. But I don't think he
there's
writes
some
it
wicked
in a
death.
way.
There's some wicked death in here.
And it's not like, they talk like high schoolers. So, they're saying like all kinds of words that I don't want to get you demonetized.
Like the word for women who love women. We can't say that one.
It gets intense. And so he doesn't, even if it is that way, he doesn't, my dog is whining. Even if it is that way, he doesn't write it as a young adult book. It may be a young adult story. Not that young adult books are, again.
We've been there. It feels like a true, real survival story. Like, I feel like everyone here feels very genuine. I don't feel like this is, if you read someone writing younger people, sometimes you're like, yeah, you don't know. Tynion's never had that problem.
No.
Right? That he understands people. And that's just
the guy knows human beings.
He knows how human beings talk and act. And I think it's very important if you're doing a survival story to understand that. And I think you and I recognize that. I think from my background studying, even just like security studies, like, wars and diplomacy, I'm like, yes, this is what would happen. It's really cool. So we're getting close to time, but I do want to talk about the characters, and I want to talk about how I was disappointed at the ending. I think the ending's great. I think it's beautiful. You don't have to show what happens after, because that's not what the point of the story is. So at the end, I never see them at the whole group. We assume that they maybe got home, right? I don't see that happen. Descriptions lend itself to that. And you don't have to show that to me, because, again, I can see this is not the point of the story and the growth. Right. I wanted just one issue that was just like, because to me, people acclimating is just interesting, right? Just give me like one epilogue. Be like, here's what everybody's doing. Right? And it can be a quick one. And I understand you don't need it. But selfishly, I want that.
So I am not open-ended, but I'm very okay with and also, again, it's not ambiguous, because you kind of know.
I know. Yeah, we know.
I'm okay with kind of that ending. It's very similar to the books that were written by She Who Must Not Be Named, the Harry Potter books. But the way they ended, where it was like, and the scar hadn't hurt for 7 years. It was like, oh, I'm cool with that. And then it goes epilogue. And I'm like, no, I don't want to know where the characters are. I just want that ending where it's like, this is the end of my story. I'm done telling it. I don't have to wrap it up in a bow. You take that and go where you will with it. Like, for me, those kids, whatever happened, that's for me to come up with in my head. And like, I don't know, there's something about that I like. Because I do remember feeling like, not disappointed, but like, that's it at the very end the first time. But like, reading it this time, I was like, it's about the friends we made along the way.
I know, like, but I want to know how people from a different time period acclimate to the current time period.
Oh, that's true. I would like a mini series that's just Cassius and those little chocobo creatures.
Yeah, what do you do with them?
Which I have no clue. Doggo,
dog is
why are
so
you
cute.
whining? I have no clue what those things are called, but I have been calling them chocobos the entire time.
I mean, that's fine with me. So we need to talk about the characters. We haven't done that like we were going to.
Yes.
I think we can all agree, though, that Sander is great.
Sander's amazing.
Sander's done nothing wrong. So there's one. So we have our main crew. I'm calling the Woods kids for me, because like I feel like you need like a Brat Pack name. You know what I mean? The Woods kids. But they befriend somebody who's like a local who's born and raised there, named Sander, who is trans and is in love with Karen. And who has like, his parents are also more like officials in town, like they're important. And he's one of the first people that kind of helps and takes them in under his wing when they get to town. And he is such a great character, like throughout this.
Yeah, he's wonderful. That's my initial, obviously, opinion. But the way that Tynion wrote him, there's not a lot of like, I muted my mic. There's not a lot of really obvious language used.
No,
like, they allude to something throughout it, like, what they'll do if they catch him, what they'll do to him.
Yeah, like he mentioned, Karen, when she's mad at one point, screw you, Karen. Hey, you, Karen. Makes like, oh, you're not man enough for them, and like, whoa. And so Sander just leaves. That's one thing. And then later on, he mentions that like, well, when we were dealing with the regime, like when I had to go in for a check just now, I had to cross-dress and give them a different name because he believes in a perfect society, right? So they mention that. We see some binding. But it's not like it's...
There's definitely like eugenics talk.
Yeah, it's not like... And again, if it was in your face and that was his whole thing, that's also fine with me. But that's not the case here. He was just a character that was here. We don't have time to debate everyone's sexuality right here. And I think that having that conversation, you know, like, because we already deal a lot with like Benjamin's journey of that, as well as like the coming out and everything. And I'm glad that like Sander got to be his own character. And like, yes, that's part of it. And he has his own fears because of that. And he has his own boundaries. But I think what makes him so great is not just that, but like his relationship with his grandmother, who was like in Bombay, New Bombay, and how he got a map with a world tattooed on his back. Almost in a way of hope, right? Because his grandmother never, you know, like she stayed in her town. She never really gave up. It's like became her own thing. She forgot it was a prison. And it's like he's always had this hope that that things will change and that they will get somewhere. And his love for Karen, because like there's this really cool moment where it's his like mom or dad, or maybe it was a friend or something, was like, because, you know, someone that Karen was in love with had died. And they're like, well, he's always going to be with her. You know, and he's like, yeah, I think he will be, but I'm going to also.
Well, so will I. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. Like he is down bad. And luckily they do fall for one another. Karen, you know, but like,
I think his dad says that because like, I think that they write a really beautiful relationship between him and his dad.
Yeah.
Where toward the end, when they're enacting this big plan where, let's be honest, they're probably all going to die.
Yeah.
As far as they know. It's a suicide mission. And he asks to go, and his parents tell him no. And so he goes to see Karen off. And his dad comes out and hands him a weapon. And he's like, I'm not stupid. We both know you. And I know that you are the type of man who's going to go do this. So I know my son, go do this.
Oh, it makes me want to cry right now.
And gives him the rock star, the Warhawk.
Yeah.
But it's just, that relationship, the more I like read it this time, I was like, oh my God, like he writes it so well. Just to have a dad that's like, yeah, no, I know you and you're going to do it anyway. So like, what the hell? Like,
well, and he's such a cool character to have here too, because you need a character that's been here, that is like age appropriate to hang out with your main characters, but has been here so he can help explain things, but also have the right questions to be like, I don't understand these things about you. And so he's a little more level than our crew, because they at least he's been born in this. It's fine, right? He's gone through trauma, but it's different. They have gone through this like crazy amount of trauma and came from a place of privilege comparatively. And then we're thrown into this. So they're going to have some crazy mood swings in here that you need someone who's able just to be consistent and be the more level-headed of the group. He was great.
I love him. He's wonderful.
Benjamin Stone is also perfect. No notes.
Yes.
I have no notes.
Very few notes. Not
very few. I mean, okay, what are your notes about Benjamin?
I don't know that I really have notes about Benjamin as much as he infuriates me. Okay. But that doesn't mean that he's infuriating because he is a flawed character.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I don't love him with all my heart. He's just, some of the things I'm like, stop. Like towards the end where he finally starts to realize, like, I was never in love with Isaac. I was in love with the idea of who Isaac was.
Yeah.
And like once he starts like really real, but for the first like 2/3 of the book, that I'm just mad at him because I'm like, no, you're putting yourself in a situation to get hurt. You're not. And so really, it's not really problems with him as much as I care about him so deeply that I'm mad at him.
He's so sweet and insightful, which I appreciate because he loves Isaac so much, or he thinks he does, right? So he has a crush on him. He leaves himself open. He's aware that Isaac is all about Adrian, his friend that he's in love with, who doesn't care about him, at least in the beginning. And then eventually he's like, hey, you're faking this. Like, I can tell you're faking this. I don't know where you're going or what you're doing. But like, you know, and I can see that maybe he's overdoing it, right? Because he's scared. Which could be pressuring someone like Isaac as well. And Isaac is using because Isaac doesn't feel wanted ever. That's his whole deal.
Right.
As that's the first time. I think he's really cool. I think Isaac is interesting. Isaac's not a character I necessarily like, but I think he's a good character. I don't like Isaac.
I hate Isaac.
I think he sucks. Every time I see him, I get mad. But I think he's a good character. I think he's important for the story. Doesn't mean I like him. He's woe is me. I wish somebody wanted me. From the beginning, the first time we see Isaac, and he's talking to Benjamin Stone, right? And Ben isn't really paying attention to him. And he's like, I guess nobody wants me nice to be wanted. Like, shut up. Like, I can't deal with that at all. And he's continuously like that. He falls in these patterns, right? Where he's doing the wrong thing because he wants to be wanted. And when he is wanted, he takes it for granted, right? He's a long growth period here, especially with Adrian. He betrays his friends consistently. It all works out towards the end, right? But like, I mean, dude, a lot of people died.
The only moment I feel anything for Isaac is literally the moment before he died. Spoilers. Where he, like, his eyes, like, you can see it's him all of a sudden, and then bam, dead. And that's the only moment that I'm like, oh. But then anything before that, I cannot stand him. But again, I agree. Good character, similar to I'm a fan of the Real Housewives franchises. There are certain women on that show that I'm like, I despise this human being, but she's a good housewife. She makes for good housewives television.
Adrian Roth, I love his character. I mean, like, he does some crazy stuff. I'm obsessed with this character. Like, no matter what, even when he's being, you know, he doesn't care about anybody, when he's getting obsessed with this, when part of his humanity is gone, he gets it back. I love a super smart character. And I love what he threw. And I love that, like, towards the end, he's like, oh, my mom's just like me. She doesn't care. And Tsunami's like, no, I was in that room. She's barely holding it together. He's like, oh. Like, he just didn't get it, right? Which I can relate.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the sociopathic part. I'm the over empathetic autistic person, but like I'm feeling things. You and I are feeling things constantly, but I understand that not getting things right away, right? Love that. I love him. He's great. And he reminds me a lot of Nice House on the Lake guy too. So I really, I think there's a lot of similarities between those two. Of like, I'm this ultra smart person who's kind of created this whole thing, right? I have orchestrated all of this because I want to help people. I want to have friends, but I don't understand what I'm doing. And it's so similar to me.
Yeah, something about Tynion. He puts Tynion. See, I told you I'd do it. Something about Tynion. He always puts a character in his books. I don't know if he's doing it or the artist is doing it, but where I'm like, that's you. And like, it's always the same. Like, a lot of times they're not great, and they're like short, dark hair, glasses.
Do you think he watched Death Note back in the day? I feel like there's got to be some things he watched when he was younger, and he's just like brought those tropes back. Like,
right? It's like he's always kind of there. It's like a Hitchcock movie. Like he's always there, and I kind of like that. Like, even to the point that the little boy in the first arc of Something Is Killing the Children is named James.
I love it.
Looks like him, and I support it.
I mean, I would do the same.
I just think about that when I think about like Adrian, in comparing him to the guy from Nice House on the Lake.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And then, I mean, there's other characters, but finally, I want to talk about Calder McCready, love of my life. I love that boy. I love him. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah,
he just gets bullied into being a troublemaker, and it's not his fault. His brother is the worst person that's ever existed, ever. More than even Hayashi. I hate his brother so much. Everything about him, I was just like, this this guy's full of like light, and he's always doing courageous things, and like he's like, okay, I'll just I guess I'll domesticate this crazy bear animal. Like, that's insane, Calder. I love him.
Yeah, he's
and
I
he was also
loved
necessary.
him even more.
And what happened was necessary.
What happened was necessary, and it broke my heart even more this time than it did the first time, because I liked him a lot the first time. I would die for him. The second time I was reading it, I was like, this is an incredible character who has the most like pure, unconditional love in him. And you get to see that come out sometimes. And his desire to just see the best in everyone, including his demon of a brother.
Yeah, like should have killed him immediately.
To just try. Like, there's a moment where literally it looks like he's gotten through to his brother, and it's this beautiful moment between the two of them. And then you realize none of that's real. It was in a flashback, and it was one of those like, but that's not what happened, was it? And it's like, no. And then you see the real thing that happened, and it's heartbreaking.
Well, and even the moment when Karen's accidentally on drugs and she sees him, I was like, oh, maybe he's alive.
In Hayashi's like garden room.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Yeah, it devastated me. But he's wonderful. I love him. I will say shout out, we already mentioned her, but shout out to Tsunami, the greatest character in the history of comic books.
Cool. She's so cool.
No, I love her so much.
She's cool from the beginning, you know. She is cool and she stays cool, to be honest. Like, she just
literally, she goes from being a really badass to being a really badass with an eye patch.
Yeah, that's her character growth, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think she had a lot of character growth. She just got cooler. And I love at the end where she's like, hey, they're walking into the final battle, basically, and she's talking to Karen, who's her best friend, right? They've been best friends. I mean, like, in a very serious platonic love way. And she's like, so, and they're not talking. They've been in a fight. And then she's like, so, hey, we're about to go into this, right? And like, I'm not thinking we're getting McDonald's tonight. Like, I'm thinking this is going to be the end. You have anything to say? And Karen's like, no, I mean, I did what I did. And she's like, all right, bye. And I was like, hell yeah. Hell yes. And she's like, no, like, I'm not going to waste my time then. Like, we're not going to do all this. I'm not going to beg for you to do the right thing. Like, no.
Well, then there's a moment where they don't really reconcile that, but that moment, right? Like, that's as they're going in, and then there's the moment right before everything that goes down where Tsunami looks at her and goes like, am I going to do it, or are you going to do it? Because one of us is going to have to kill this person.
So cool.
And she doesn't respond, Karen, and she goes, okay, I'll do it. And it's this like, it's not them like making up, but there is like a moment of understanding between them, which then makes the, at the time, apparent death of Tsunami hit in a way that's even worse.
Like, it's your fault.
Yeah, again, I've read it, and I read it this time and went, no! And then I was like, wait a minute, she plays a crucial part.
Yeah, she's fine. It's very cool.
It's great. Maria's fine.
This whole series is great. I need to own it. I just read it digitally, and it's one of the things I've always meant to buy the yearbook editions, and I haven't, because I first read the first few volumes like years ago and like loved it. This is one I could see myself revisiting often, and I had a great time reading all of it today. Now, was that a normal thing to do? No. But I did. And I took notes.
Rereading it, I think it took me like 3 sittings, but for me, it's one I read digitally because it's all available. You should go buy, spend money. In stock, who's the cheap graphic novel? was gonna say, who's the sponsor?
Yeah, man,
but,
I miss my in-stock trades days, so it's
I'm
weird.
like, y'all like go support them, go buy it.
Oh, for sure.
But it's all available. I'm pretty sure if you have like a Comixology or Kindle Unlimited membership, it's all available through there. So it is like very accessible and free to read. And then you'll probably be like me, who read it for free digitally and then loved it so much that I turned around and bought the big fancy version.
Yeah, I typically do the same. Like
Like,
I got the Humble Bundle last month before, with all of Tynion stuff, and that's how I read. Like, I think I did read the rest of Something Is Killing the Children, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't stop, so I read all of it. Yeah. And now I'm just like, well, now I need more. But yeah, I was able to read all of that through this, and I'm really happy with this because I feel like everything concluded well. Mm-hmm. It's very well put together. I did not feel the same completely about how the Nice House on the Lake went. Of course, I haven't finished, right? It's continuing, but that wasn't as solid for me. The first volume, I was like 10 out of 10, no problem. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, what are we doing? But this, I think, is a perfect, like it's very well laid out.
Yeah, I think Nice House I didn't like until I read it all 12 at one time, like in the deluxe, and I realized, oh, this is him setting up a world.
Yes, this I want to go back now.
A story, because in my head I was like, at the end of it, I was like, okay, I don't really like this ending. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, they had already announced Nice House on the Sea, or by the sea, and I was like, okay, he's setting up. This is one story in the middle of chaos.
Yeah.
And so for me that works, but this is like a perfectly self-contained. Sometimes I feel like it's too short, but then other times I'm like, no, he paced it really well. It's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, very well.
I just want more.
This would be great as an anime or a manga. Like, this is
right.
It has the same feeling because you have the same writer and artist the entire time. Everything feels very well paced. I don't feel like anything was rushed, which is my problem with a lot of Western comics. You and I are huge, obviously. Right? We're here. You've been on the show before. We've read a lot of DC and Marvel, but because of the way publishing works, those are rushed. Things change abruptly. You have the larger canon to worry about. It doesn't always make for a nice, cohesive, solid, balanced story, right? And so I'm used to manga being where I go for that. And I was like, this feels like I was reading a really good manga series. Like I was reading Promised Neverland or something is what this feels like.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good recommendation. If you guys like this, read Promised Neverland. Don't watch the anime. The first season's good. Don't watch past that. The manga, incredible. If you love a big like mystery, what's going to happen? How we're going to survive? Perfect. What would you rate this out of 10?
What, out of 10? First read through 8. Yeah. This read through 9.5. I mean, it's damn near perfect.
I'm feeling a 9. I think it's I think maybe there's some things maybe I would change, but nothing big. I think and maybe that's just a feeling because I really want just one or like 3 pages. Give me 3 more pages, Tiny, please. Just 3 pages. That's how it happened. But that's just a personal preference. The rest of the book, well, I mean, this is a must-have, I think.
For like people
a collection, I think.
Yeah.
To me, this is a must-read, must-have.
I just reread it for this, and I will probably reread it within a year.
And I feel like that's most Tynion things. I'm like, you should have Something That's Killing the Children. You should have this.
I've read Something That's Killing the
Children.
We
should all have Detective Comics because it's I think it's still my favorite Batman.
It's an incredible Batman run, but it's because he gets people. He writes them as human beings, and it's a team. And like this, that's why I pulled up this review because as soon as you said it, I thought of it. The first sentence of this review on Goodreads for The Woods is James Tynion knows every inch of our complicated and messy humanity, and he spreads it out on a page.
Oh,
that's exactly what this is.
And you're like, it was me. I was just kidding.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, and you you said something very similar, and it is that. I mean, there are moments where like even the characters admit like this is messy, and being a human being is messy, and for right now, I'm just gonna let that be okay. And
Right.
so end of the day, it's incredible. You should go read it. If you don't like it, you're wrong.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not all opinions welcome.
I love this. But I guess we need to read Drifting Classroom too.
Yeah, I think I used to have it, and then I sold it before I got a chance to read it. Because book collecting.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because I've read one other book by him. I don't remember if I liked it. Maybe I haven't. I don't know.
I thought you were talking about Tynion. I was like, I've
read a lot of Tynion. I love him.
I still haven't read his apocalyptic trilogy though.
What's that?
Like Mimetic.
I didn't know that was him. People talk about it all the time.
The sloth. I always think of the sloth that's on the cover of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the names of all the 3 stories in it. But
it's crazy to be reading comic books for so long, and yet it feels like I am perpetually behind no matter what.
Yeah, I for the first time am I? Yeah, I for the first time am almost caught up on singles. I have 2 more singles, but then tomorrow 10 or 15 more.
I caught up on Titans, Absolute Wonder Woman, and Trinity, so that's pretty good.
Also, knowing you, this series of Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Justice League.
Oh, I want to read that, yeah.
It's incredible.
I mean, love
it's
Cheshire.
Ocean's 11 with all these wonderful female characters.
I mean, I love Cheshire. I have to, because Roy's baby mama. And there's one sexy moment where he like ties her up a little bit with like extension cord, and I think that's pretty cool. I'm just saying.
Good. Can I shout out a book while I'm here?
Yeah.
Because I want everyone to go read it always.
Yeah.
So the first issue of oh my god, my brain stopped. As I was going, I was like, what was I talking about? Because I have ADHD. I want to make sure I get the writer's name, or not the writer, the artist's name right. Roots of Madness.
Oh.
The first issue of Roots of Madness is out. It's Stephanie Williams, who is a lovely local creator from here in Charlotte, who also just so incredibly kind. Like I posted about Roots of Madness the other day, and she follows me and I follow her on Instagram. We got into like a conversation. She's like, "Oh, are you gonna be at Baltimore?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna come see you." Like, she's the sweetest human. But
the cover looks great. I don't even need to know.
I think it's Letizia.
Yeah, Letizia.
Yeah. But this is the cover for anybody.
That looks so good.
This is number 1. This book is one of the best, like, number 1, like, starting independent series I've read in a long time, at getting me to be interested and have no clue where we're going. And I think it's a period piece. It's based on like it's early 20th century. I can't remember who exactly it's. Oh, Madam C.J. Walker.
Yeah.
So it's like an alternate history of like that time and a character kind of like her. But it's an incredible read. The art is beautiful. It's just like that is a no notes book.
Did you ever read? I have. He did. Well, James, I'll be reading it.
Oh, he's on the phone with. Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. I got a copy of this. Did you ever read her like fan comic Living Heroes?
I didn't.
I think you can read on here for on her like her thing for free or whatever. I got a copy of it, but it's one of my favorite things ever. It's like a zine basically, but it's all of like
fun.
It's Marvel heroes just doing normal life stuff. It's so good. I really good. Everyone should read it. It's so fun. Like they have the girls wearing their bonnets having wash day. Like
her son, who I think is like 10, was selling his comic book that he wrote and drew at HeroesCon. And so like he's just there. She's the sweetest human. Read all of her things. She's a great writer. Mm-hmm. She's currently writing Street Sharks,
which is wild.
Which is so fun though. I read the first one. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
If you watched the show.
I was 9:20 already. I have to take a fun shot, not like this. Not this kind of shot. Thank you, Stephen, for being here. This has been lovely.
Yeah, of course.
Chat, thank you for being here. This is the first of our little spooky October reads. Next week, let's see. That is Chris and Comic Slayer is going to be here, everybody. My long lost co-host. We're going to read Joji Ito's new book, Moans. Is it a collection of short stories?
Oh, yeah.
It's coming out I think this week. I need to make sure I get that.
Yeah, I think it came out on like IST and stuff today.
It might be today, yeah. And the week after, Tina, aka TikTok Tina, is on the channel, and then Sean from Comics Pals are going to be on. We're reading Infidel, which is so good. I know I've definitely done a show about it. I don't care. I'll read Infidel anytime. We are fine with a repeat every.
Have you done the Woods? Because we can talk about this again.
Just do it again. We should have slowed it down. Let's do it again. We'll have other people who were better piecing their thoughts together than me. And then we'll do a Patreon pick for the last week of this month. I forgot what Omar said it was. Probably going to be. Let me look real quick. Where is it? This is such bad content for me to do this. It's probably going to be Demon Bear.
Oh, like Demon Bear. Okay.
New Mutants, the Demon Bear saga.
I mean, it's a great story.
Yeah, I was hoping Demon Bear was totally not related to anything else, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool.
But it's a story mostly revolving around Danny Moonstar, who is like one of my favorite X-Men.
Okay.
Not my favorite X-Men. I love it.
Oh, we'll talk X-Men soon, because I've been reading Peach Momoko's.
Oh, Ultimate X-Men.
Yeah, so good.
It's fun. It's fun. There's a lot of good X-Men, right?
I'm trying to read old Uncanny X-Men, maybe, but nobody get your hopes up. Okay? I'm just trying. We'll see. Anyways, I've got to run. I hope you guys like this video. Comment down below your thoughts about the Woods. Unless you don't like it, then too bad.
Yeah,
just
not
kidding.
all opinions.
You can share your thoughts. Just be nice.
Let us know how you like the new Taylor Swift album.
I've got thoughts, but I don't think you want to hear them. You guys subscribe for future videos. Vote on Patreon for our Patreon pick of the month. Thank you, Stephen, for being here and for Chat for being here. Happy Halloween.